Hi everybody, I'm Tammar Stein. I am the author of the middle grade historical fiction, The 6-Day Hero. I'm an American novelist, but actually I don't live in the United States right now. I live in Singapore. Singapore is right on the equator, which means it's tropical and warm year-round. Sometimes we get monkeys that scamper across the roof of our apartment building. It's really fun to live here. What was not so fun is about 2 months ago, Singapore had its first case of the COVID-19. And almost immediately, the country put in a lot of measures to try and to protect the population. So I have 2 kids, and some very exciting field trips of theirs got canceled. All of their sporting events got canceled. And there was a new requirement put in that I had to take their temperature every day and write it on a slip of paper, and they had to bring that slip of paper to school every day to show that they didn't have a fever. So when all these new measures were getting put in and all these really fun things were getting canceled, it felt scary and confusing and weird, like our lives were really disrupted and we weren't sure what was going to happen next. And so I'm here to tell you that 2 months later, those sacrifices that we had to make of canceling really fun events and not doing certain things have really paid off. In Singapore, the virus has not spread and people are staying healthy. So it feels hard to do these things, but there's a reason for it and they really do pay off. I can also say that 2 months into it, we've really gotten used to these changes in our lives. So we're used to seeing hand sanitizer everywhere. We're used to having our temperature taken everywhere. I get my temperature taken so many times a day, to go to the library, to go to the mall, to go really anywhere. There's someone with a little thermometer and my temperature is taken all the time. And at first it felt really weird and kind of creepy, and now I don't even bat an eye. Just take my temperature and everything is fine. So the United States is just now starting to deal with it. So you guys are where we were 2 months ago when it all really felt really confusing and disconcerting. So here's what I would love for you to do. Put on that writer's hat. Writers observe and writers describe. So what I would love for you to do is write a letter. This letter can be an actual letter to a relative like your grandmother or your favorite uncle or a cousin. It can be to your parents or to your teacher. It could be to me. I love letters. Or it could be just to yourself as a sort of a letter to yourself, to your future self, to remember what is happening. Because I will tell you this, as much as what's happening is weird and crazy, it's temporary. It's not going to last, and it's probably never going to happen again. So make a record of this really unusual time period. So write specifically in this letter, write specifically what has changed in your life. Is your school canceled? Are you doing online learning? Is it great? Do you love it? My kids seem to think that this would just be the most amazing thing ever. So what is online learning like? Write about it. If you're still going to school, has your teacher made some changes in the way she runs her class or in the way he lets you guys interact with each other? Write about that. Is the school canceling certain events? What are your parents saying? What are your friends saying? Try to use the details and the specifics in your life of what's happening. Be sure to include what you're feeling. Are you excited that school might be canceled? My kids seem to think this would be like the most amazing snow day situation ever. Or are you really worried? Are you so confused because you super missed school and you never thought that you would say that? Maybe school's been amazing and you hate that you're not there right now. Or maybe you're worried about somebody you know getting sick. Write all of that. Include all of that. The good feelings, the bad feelings, the indeterminate feelings. All of those are real. That's life. Writers use life. They use feelings from life. When you finish writing this letter, you will have an incredible record of a very unusual time period. And then you can decide what you want to do with it you can absolutely send it. Send it to your relatives. They would love to hear from you. Give it to your parents or your teacher. Keep it for yourself, or send it to me. I love getting letters, and if you send me a letter, I promise I'll write back. Bye.